Rise Ghana Project, Sustainable Development Goal SDG package. SDG 1, no poverty. To end poverty in all, it forms everywhere by 2030. So what can I do about it? As a young person, your active engagement in policy making can make a difference in addressing poverty. It ensures that your rights are promoted and that your voice is heard, that intergenerational knowledge is shared, and that innovation and critical thinking are encouraged at all ages to support transformational changes in people's lives and communities. SDG 2, Zero Hunger. To end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutritional, promote sustainable agriculture. What can we do to help? You can make changes in your own life at home, at work, in the community by supporting local farmers or markets and making sustainable food choices, supporting good nutrition for all, and fighting food waste. You can also use your power as a consumer and voter, demanding businesses and government to make the choices and changes that will make zero hunger a reality. SDG 3, good health and well-being. To ensure lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. What can I do to help? You can start you can start in You can start by promoting and protecting your own health and the health of those around you by making well informed choices and practicing safe sex. You can raise awareness in your community about the importance of good health and take action where schools, clubs, teams, and organizations to promote better health for all, especially for the most vulnerable, such as women and children. SDG 4, quality education. Ensure inclusive, quality education for all and promote lifelong learning. What can we do? I ask our government to place education as a priority in both policy and practice. I lobby our government to make firm commitments to provide free primary school education to all, including vulnerable or marginalized groups. I encourage the private sector to invest resources in the development of educational tools and facilities. IV urge NGOs to partner with youth and other groups to foster the importance of education within local communities. SDG 5, Gender Equality. To achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. What can we do to fix these issues? If you are a girl, you can stay in school, help empower your female classmates to do the same, and fight for your right to access sexual and reproductive health services. If you are a woman, you can address unconscious biases and implicit associations that form an unintended and often an invisible barrier to equal opportunity. I. If you are a man or a boy, you can work alongside women and girls to achieve gender equality and embrace healthy, respectful relationships. You can fund education campaigns to curb cultural practices like female genital mutilation and change harmful laws that limits the rights of women and girls and prevents them from achieving their full potential. SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, to ensure access to safe water sources and sanitation for all. What can we do? Civil society organizations should work to keep government accountable, invest in water research and development, promote the inclusion of women, youth, and indigenous communities in water resources governance. Generating awareness of these rules and turning them into action will lead to win-win results and increase sustainability integration for both human and ecological systems. SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. To ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. What can we do to fix these issues? I. Countries can accelerate the transition to an affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy system by investing in renewable energy resources, prioritizing energy efficient practices, and adopting clean energy technologies and infrastructure. You can save electricity by plugging appliances into, into a power strip and turning them off completely when not in use, including your computer. You can also bike, walk, or take public transport to reduce carbon emissions. SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. To promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. What can we do to fix these issues? Providing you the best opportunity to transition to a decent job course for investing in education and training of the highest possible quality, providing youth with skills that match labor market demands, giving them access to social, social protection and basic services regardless of their contract type, as well as leveling the playing field so that all aspiring youth can attain productive employment regardless of their gender, income level, or social economic background.
SDG 9, industries, innovations, and infrastructure. To build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. How can we help? Think about how industry impacts on your life and well-being, and use social media to push policymakers to prioritize the SDG. SDG 10, reduced inequalities. To reduce inequalities within and among countries, what can we do? Reducing inequality requires transformative change. Greater efforts are needed to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, and invest more in health, education, social protection, and decent jobs, especially for young people, migrants, and other vulnerable communities. Within countries, it is important to empower and promote inclusive social and economic growth. We can ensure equal opportunity and reduce inequalities of income if we eliminate discriminatory laws, policies, and practices. Among countries, we need to ensure that developing countries are better represented in decision making on global issues so that solutions can be more effective, credible, and accountable. SDG SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. To make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable, what can I do to help achieve this goal? I take an active interest in the governance and management of your city. I take notice of what works and what doesn't in your community. I advocate for the kind of city you believe you need. IV, develop a vision for your building, street, and neighborhood and act on that vision. Are there enough jobs? Are you close to healthcare? Can your children walk to school safely? Can you walk with your family at night? How far is the nearest public transport? What is the air quality like? What are your shared public spaces like? The better the conditions you create in your community, the greater the effect or quality of life. SDG SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. To ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns, how can I help as a consumer? There are two main ways to help. One, reducing your water waste, and two, being thoughtful about what you buy and choosing a sustainable option whenever possible. SDG 13, climate action, taking urgent action to tackle climate change and its impacts. Can we solve this problem, or is it too late to act? We can definitely address climate change, but we have to vastly increase our efforts. Much is happening around the world. Investments in renewable energy have solved, but much more needs to be done. The world must transform its energy, industry, transport, food, agriculture, and forestry systems to ensure that we can limit global temperature rise to well-being 2 degrees Celsius, maybe even 1.5 degrees Celsius. In December 2015, the world took a significant first step by adopting the Paris Agreement, in which all countries committed to take action to address climate change. Many businesses and investors are also committing themselves to lower their emissions, not just because it is the right thing to do, but because it makes economic and business sense as well. SDG 14, life below water, to conserve and sustainably use the world's oceans, seas, and marine resources. So, what can we do? On a local level, we should make ocean friendly choices when buying products or eating food derived from oceans and consume only what we need. Selecting certified products is a good price to start. Making small changes in our daily lives, like taking public transport and and plugging electronics, saves energy. These actions reduce our carbon footprint, a factor that contributes to rising sea levels. We should eliminate plastic usage as much as possible and organize beach cleanups. Most importantly, we can spread the message about how important marine life is and why we need to protect it. SDG 15, life on land, to sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, halt and reserve land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. What can we do? Inevitably, we change the ecosystems we are a part of through our presence, but we can make choices that either affirm diversity or devalue it. Something we can do to help include recycling, eating a local based diet that is sustainably sourced, consuming only what we need, and limiting energy usage through efficient heating and cooling systems. We must also be respectful towards wildlife and only take part in ecotourism opportunities that are responsibly and ethically run in order to prevent wildlife disturbance. SDG 16: Peace, justice, and strong institutions. Promote peacefully and inclusive societies for sustainable development. Provide access to justice for all and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. What can we do? Raise awareness in your community about the realities of violence and the importance of peaceful and just societies, and identify how you can pursue the SDGs in your daily life. Exercise your right to hold your elected officials to account. Exercise your right to freedom of information and share your opinion with your elected representatives. Be the change, promote inclusion and respect towards people of different backgrounds, ethnic origins, religions, gender, sexual orientations, or different opinions. SDG 17: Partnerships for the goals. To revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development, what can we do to help? Join or create a group in your local community that seeks to mobilize action on the implementation of the SDGs. Encourage your government to partner with businesses for the implementation of the SDGs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.